Let's Talk Sports Radio podcast, or the great things you want to call it. I just want to say it's a great time to be alive. It's a great moment in time because they're saying that this is the last day or one of the last days of mental health awareness time for black men. But I rebuke it. I say we keep marching, we keep going because doggone it, it's a whole lot going on in the brains of the men in the world today. It was a great time this weekend, I should say. Not too much really transpired, but we were at a baby shower and I watched a brother, you know, work a little bit more than what he should have on that day. Shout out to all the ladies that were there that did and did not help. Praise the Lord for you. But yeah, outside of that, uh let's travel back into time a little bit. Last weekend, your boy had the chance to drop by the big three, and it was quite a time. I want to say that. All right. First of all, shout out to Mr. Ice Cube for a great time, a great experience for everybody that was there. What's his name? Scarface performed at in the halftime, and it was a dope experience, man. I will say that. Shout out to my boy Swaggy P for showing love. You know what I'm saying? Swaggy P, Nick Young, you know what I'm saying? Very, very, very cool and respectful brother. And shout out to We See Greatness, one of the big participants that shows incredible love to not only the big three, but the young people that want to be involved, as well as he's just very interactive throughout the game. If you see him, his name is Terrence, and he has the brand. We See Greatness. So yeah, man, as you guys can see, Michael Jordan has walked in the room, and I want to see what he has to say now. You know, it's definitely that time to start talking. I got a topic for you because I'm seeing it. It just kind of came up on social media.
What just came up?
It's the rumor has it that Mr. LeBron James might be shopping around and considering going to Dallas.
I don't know. I know he definitely Rich Paul spoke on his contract situation and he definitely said he wanted to compete for a championship, but I just can't see him going to Dallas unless it's a package deal with him and Bronny. So I don't know how that's going to work. I seriously doubt if he'll leave unless he just so trusts, you know, the organization of the Lakers to look out for Bronny, you know, and I just can't see him leaving Bronny. I think everybody's downplaying the impact of what Bronny could be in his decision. I just can't see him leaving without Bronny.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely agree because I don't trust LA. And I just mean it as that. I don't trust LA. For a youngin' like that, I know that he is his own man, but doggone it, a lot is happening. I feel like Pops, at this point now, you already started it. You might as well continue until you retire. And I say come to DC. That's what I say. I say come to DC now. Unfortunately, Bronny, I don't really know if there's space here in DC because of everybody that we just drafted and what's going on now in the last 2 years. But LeBron, hey, listen, buddy, you might as well just retire in the nation's capital. You know, I am not saying that, you know, we'll bring you a championship immediately, but we can get you championship about you give about another 2 years, we could get there. I believe we can.
It's a lot of trade news in the mini sports, Bronny, to talk about Bron and opting in and all that. And then the trade went on in the NFL today that sent Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Steelers, man. Which I can see Jalen Ramsey because he kind of like was gone. He didn't really play that much with them. He was here, there, and I don't even think he played a full season with them. But I can understand that part. Yeah. But the Jonnu Smith is puzzling because Jonnu Smith is one of the best tight ends in the league. Quiet, his buzz not there, but his numbers are. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I remember in the beginning of my fantasy year, I had him on my team, and then we went through a little rough patch. I had to drop him because I needed to get some immediate points, and all I know is I could never get him back.
I got you. I got you.
I couldn't get him back. You know what I mean? And the person that picked him up was not budging. You know what I mean? Because he was dropping buckets. You know what I mean? He was dropping buckets. Like he was putting up numbers. So the John O. Smith. So now you got. I still don't think much of Pittsburgh. I'm not understanding the George Pickens move. The George Pickens move is what's missing. Okay, so they got a decent run game. You got an aging quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. You got DK.
A-Rod said it himself. This is his last season.
It should be.
This is not even aging. He's aged. All right. A-Rod, I appreciated everything you did for the league when you were in Green Bay. The moment you left is the moment you cursed yourself. All right. You should have retired. You don't go elsewhere. You should have did what Brett Favre didn't do. You get what I'm saying? You followed in his footsteps. And I can't say too much. You made enough money, so you know what you're doing. You know what's going on. But yeah, man. A-Rod, you age good.
Speaking of that, they was talking to Ben Roethlisberger about Aaron Rodgers. And he brought up an interesting debate between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. And I was talking to my cousin on the way in, and he was talking about A-Rod and Patrick Mahomes. And he was like, well, everybody talk about Patrick Mahomes, and you know how, at first it was Mike and Kobe, and then it was just Kobe and LeBron, and I mean Mike and LeBron. I think that people kind of did the same thing with A-Rod, and I was like, nah. Pat passed him. Ben Roethlisberger talking about A-Rod's prime is better than Pat's prime. No, it's not a debate. Pat passed him. He passed Aaron Rodgers a long time ago. I don't know why that's a debate. He's passed him. We can stop that now.
So you were saying that they were talking about has he passed him?
No, they were trying to debate prime for prime, saying A-Rod's prime was better than Patrick's prime.
That's impossible.
But I'm like,
the only reason why I can't say that, you know what I'm saying? Mahomes won a Super Bowl ring when?
His second year.
Exactly.
As a starter.
In the discussion right there.
Not just that. 7 years as a starter, 7 championship game appearances. He's never not won a division. 7 division titles, 7 championship game appearances.
But by year 2,
5 Super Bowl appearances.
By year 2, he had a ring.
Right.
So that stops the conversation right there. Okay, we can go further and add more insult to injury, but right there, that's enough right there. That's hey. All it takes is one time.
Boxing the DC, I got you. I know y'all wondering, like, okay, he talking about everything boxing. I got you. I'm coming to you, man. Boxing the DC, I got y'all. But for right now, we gotta touch on a couple other topics. That's big trade news. I don't think that makes, to me, Pittsburgh not on my contender list. I'm sorry, y'all. They just not. And I think the aged, the past have done Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what kind of mental space that DK Metcalf going to be in there, because basically he just went from one dumpster fire to the next dumpster fire offensively. I think Pittsburgh is a formidable team. They have great defense and all of that, but
Russ is over there too, right?
Russ is a New York Giant.
You're right. Haha. That's going to be fun to see.
I think that I think the NFC East is, we're going to get to that another time, but I think the NFC East is going to be very, very interesting. I think the Russ, Jameis Winston thing makes them so far, because listen, Russ is not the Russ that he used to be, but he's a formidable quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Give him a decent running game and a decent defense. He will find a way, as he showed last year. He'll find a way to keep you in the game. They went to the playoffs. Pittsburgh went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Russ looked bad the last stretch of the season and in the playoffs, but he got him there. Yeah. He got him there.
Yeah.
I know Justin Fields won a few games, but he got him there. He got him there.
Definitely can say that, man.
I'm not. Yeah, yeah. I'm not. I'm not sold on the Pittsburgh thing. But I ain't gonna lie. That is hold on. That is a nice tight end to have. You know, John Smith,
Oh yeah, I
DK
mean
Metcalf. That's a
they
nice tight
smart.
end to have.
They literally built enough for A-Rod for this one season, and then they got a youngin, right? Yeah, it's literally it's kind of crazy. It's like watching the uh the life of Aaron Rodgers all over again. Sat down when Brett Favre was there, and then you started. Lord, hopefully it's not because of an injury. You know, we don't got time for no more injuries for Grandpa Rogers. All right. Now I still think Grandpa Rogers can sling the ball. I feel like he's still gonna be able to do some things, but it's not gonna get him to no Super Bowl.
And as the world turns, you know what? Before I get to the WNBA, because I think we're gonna sit on the WNBA for a minute. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot to unpack. But in the world of boxing, Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, and Jake Paul fought on back-to-back nights. Both were successful in their victories. Deontay Wilder fought a relatively unknown and out in Candace, no disrespect, but you know, he looked like he just keep busy fight to get back in the ring. Dude, I wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. The performance was okay, and I think that any hopes or thoughts of, because we do this every time somebody win a fight. Oh my God, they're so amazing. This is unbelievable. They're back in the thick of things with the rankings. No, no. Do I think he could beat a Dubois or Usyk or anybody on the elite? No. But can he stay around and fight somebody like Jake Paul? Yeah. So let me get to the Jake Paul.
Jake Paul and Deontay Wilder fight?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why. Jake Paul fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. this weekend.
Okay.
Right? A former world champion. Yes, that's true. And everybody was, the whole broadcast. And one of the people on the broadcast is my buddy Antonio Tava. You my guy. But you was really like, I was really listening to it like, well, I guess you know what? When you covering the fight, there's only so much you can say, right?
Oh yeah.
But everybody's like, Jake he's fighting. Go ahead.
You could say, you just better understand the risk of what you say.
Right. Everybody's Jake's fighting real boxers now. He's looking good. He's improving. All that's true. But let's really look at it for what it is. Let me say this. Jake Paul as a businessman.
Yeah, very much.
Is amazing. What he's doing for the people that he's working with, all the female fighters and all the people under them, and taking care of all the fighters that's connected to him, the trainers, anybody that's connected to him business-wise, he's love. You know what I mean? He's done that. He did that. He did his 1-2 big time. You know what I mean? He came out there and he's box office, he's selling out arenas, he making deals with Netflix. Like he's done his thing on that part. But as a fighter, let's stop the gibberish, y'all. Let's cut the gibberish. Listen, Julio Cesar Chavez has been suspended so many times for drugs and who knows what. Ain't really been much of been a shell of itself for the last 12 years. That's why Jake fought him. Now, did Jake look good? So. But I didn't expect much from Julio Cesar Chavez. Now, since he's moving up in ranks and Wilder is on the back nine and really on his way out, try him. Or, like he said, Badu Jack. Let's see you fight a fighter that's been active within the last 2 years. Not a fighter that was on the shelf for 2, 3, 4 years and then fresh out of rehab or whatever, and then you fight him and then like, oh my God, he fought a real fighter. That's not the same, y'all. It's not the same. But like I said, as an entertainer, he has definitely done his thing. As a promoter, he is bar none one of the best. And this women's card that he's got coming up soon, it's an all women's card coming up. Let me give you all the exact date because I'm definitely going to be tapped in. And listen, if y'all don't know by now, I'm a big I'm a big opponent. Well, not opponent, but component. I don't know what word I want to use, but I'm big in women's boxing, in women's sports, boxing, basketball. I always have been. You know what I mean? Always been supportive of them. But yeah, they got as Clarissa also got a fight card coming up. Let me drop this in here. Man. Come on, phone. Don't do this to me now. I know it's coming up July. I want to say July 12th. I want to say I want to say July 12th. And it's headlined by Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano too. On that card, you also got Alicia Baumgartner defending her undisputed title. You also got my girl Chicken Metcalf from out of Dallas. She defending her title on that card. You also got Shadeja Green versus Savannah Marshall for an undisputed title as well. And then on some and what I found was amazing, Chantel Cameron, also a former undisputed champion. She's also on the card. It's the from top to bottom. It is a stellar card loaded with nothing but the best female fighters in the world, minus Clarissa Shields, who has a fight card coming up July 26th. She's coming up too. She's defending her title out there in Detroit, against Laney Daniels. So she's not on the card. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to, leave her out. She definitely is up there and arguably to me the pound for pound best in the world. So she has her card coming up on that too. Now we're gonna dance over to this WNBA. Now, my brother, the latest buzz before we unpack everything that took place on the court last week. Let's talk about one thing off the court, and which has happened is this. Okay, two things happened. First, Joy Taylor reopened the can of worms when she came out. She told everybody, Caitlin Clark wouldn't be where she's at if it wasn't for what happened with her and Angel Reese. And that went. We opened up.
Hold on. Rewind that. You said what?
Joy Taylor. It started. She went on. I think she was on Joe Budden podcast, and she said, "Well, Caitlin Clark wouldn't be where she's at if it wasn't for the situation that happened with Angel Reese with the Tony Yayo." Now, I'm gonna let you go first on that part because it's a lot that went on with that whole that set everybody ablaze, and we're going to start with that.
What was the people's response?
Oh, she's, of course, everybody's saying she's crazy, she's delusional, this is sickening, they're nowhere near the same level, all of that.
Okay.
And
so the people are still feeling the way that they feel. This is why I say mental health awareness is a real thing. It ain't just a month, right? It ain't just a month, okay? People going to say that people are sick in the head and they don't know what they talking about and all of this jibbly jab. But when it comes to media takes, I will say this, that from that John Cena move,
Tony Yayo,
or pardon me, Tony Yayo, pardon me. From that, you mean to tell me that clip did not begin everything? You're telling me that clip did not begin everything, because before that clip, how heavy in media was Caitlin Clark's name? Not saying that it wasn't as broad as it was, but I'm talking about it from a media directive perspective. If you're not in a media directive viewpoint, you can't speak on this. You're talking like a fan, and we're not looking at it from a fan's perspective. We're looking at it from how the people up there look at it. When we say up there, the ones that control what you see. So, with that being said, of course you all are going to feel the way you feel. Why wouldn't you feel the way you feel? Huh? Why wouldn't you? You appreciate Caitlin Clark's skill set. And there are other people that know that her skill set probably would not be as hyped had that moment never happened. Now, I am not saying that her playing would not be the same, but as far as her and her skill set, come on now. I feel like it would have evolved over time. Her name would be probably where it is now without it, regardless, because she's a baller. But hey, people can run with that moment. That's a true statement. The clip happened and boom.
Here's what I'm gonna say. All right, what happened is this. Her name was buzzing. Her name was buzzing. And when they won the game over South Carolina, she went viral. That happened on, I think, Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday. The South Carolina game happened and they went viral. Right. But here's the part that all these podcasts, when they bring up these topics, they will never tell you. So so here's some truth. The truth of the matter is, did that game make either one of them? No. But what happened was that singular moment changed women's basketball forever.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless if you say who made who or whatever, the bottom line is when you tell this story of the evolution of this explosion, they want to tell this story without Angel Reese, and you can't. That's the problem that they have. Every day you got people doing show after show after show after show. We're showing you the numbers of the games that she's playing in the WNBA and the viewership drop when she's not playing. But the part you leave out is all of that is after that moment. It's not before the moment. You have to go back to before the moment in order to tell us the true facts. What happened after that moment, you can't tell me. So yes, right now she's the number one. She got 1.2 million all-star votes. She's the captain of the all-star team. We're going to get to that. Yes, all that's true. Yes, she's selling out arenas. The teams are moving to bigger arenas for her games when she come through. Like they said on the Indiana Fever page, every game is a home game. All that's true. But that's after the Tony Yayo moment. And what people leave out is because they drag Angel through the mud. She's not the one bringing this up every. I mean, she's like when they tried to ask about her beginning of the year, she said, move on. She's trying to move past that conversation. But what they leave out is prior to the game was played, before that national championship game was played, the player with the largest social media following and the largest following was Angel Reese. The player with the largest endorsement deal was Angel Reese. The player with the largest NIL deal was Angel Reese. After that game, Caitlin became the person with the largest endorsement deal. You can tell you can flip it and spin it any way you want to. That's a fact. I don't care about nothing. When we talk about these sports and these topics, I don't care about nothing but the facts. That's a fact.
That's why people need to do it. You know what? I don't know if these kids, because I feel like it's a lot of kids that are arguing this statement. I don't feel like it's adults. If it's adults, then my God, do we have to go back in time? But kids, I know a lot of y'all are different. You've been raised different. So, you may not have had to do research projects. But let me help you out. Let me give you some homework. We're going to talk about it next week. I want you to create a research project that's going to not just do compare and contrast, but what you're going to do is you're going to pull the files. You're going to get your sources, and you're going to give a valid argument as to why you feel the way you feel. And if you feel that Caitlin Clark has earned all of this, whether she had the clip or not, state your argument. If you are opposite of what I just said, state your argument. If you feel like Angel Reese deserves more love, state your argument. And put that there. But don't base it upon fan opinion. If you do that, you've already lost the argument. You lost the argument. All right. Social media is going to make you feel like you have all, but by the end of all ends, Brian, I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to sound crazy out here. You don't want to sound crazy out here. The facts are the facts.
Then you got all these. It's like this. This is the reality of it. This is the reality of it. Truthfully, when it comes to this stuff, and she'll be here on July 8th, which we'll be covering that game, and we got a big moment coming up with her when she come here on July 8th. You know, of course, we Team Mystics, but of course, you know, she from Maryland, the DMV. We're gonna show her love when she come here. Hopefully, we get a interview with her when she here too. But it's truly her against the world, you know, because I'm gonna talk about us for a minute. I don't care about no other race. I'm just gonna talk about my own right now. And I love my culture, and I'm with y'all 24. No matter what, no matter what going on, I will always choose you. But one thing you will never see, and I ain't even talking about black and white. I'm talking about any culture. I've never seen no other culture go against a figure from their own as much as they do our own, and that's any sport. That's any sport. Like I go around. Look, we cover the sport. I cover boxing. I go to arenas. I go to other places and all that. I said we the only culture that when no matter what arena we in, when we come in the arena, every half of the arena is against us. For real, man. Like when, like if a fighter fights somebody from another country, when that person come through there, that people will come from overseas and fill up the arena faster than we fill up it for ourselves. That's a fact. That's a fact. In any sport, basketball, football, you look in them bleachers, unless that person is a star player for that NFL team or whatever, half of that arena is against them. That's a fact.
It's real.
And I don't want to hear nothing. I don't hear nothing about that victimhood stuff. None of that. I'm just giving you the truth. I'm telling you what I physically see. When them dudes come, like when them fighters fight, like even when Twan fought Arroyo, the fighters in New York. When Arroyo came out there, listen to that arena. Listen to the arena. We are outnumbered in every arena because we always divide our support. The thing is this, the point I'm trying to make is this. I'm not nobody saying you should pick nobody because of their race. And the truth of the matter is you don't have to pick a side. You could just love the sport. You don't got to pick a side. You know what I mean? You ain't got to ride with somebody just because they're friendly, but you ain't got to ride against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they did a panel, right? Of the top 10 Angel Reese haters, right? A lady did a panel and the whole room, everybody in the room is black, except one or two. Giving reasons why they hate Angel Reese.
What were their reasons? First of all, why do you hate Angel Reese? Like, that is just crazy work. What does she do to you? Hating a woman that is just doing her part with her gift and her purpose is making you hate? It sounds more like you're not in your purpose, buddy. And if you are in your purpose, you coming from an area that wasn't supposed to be a part of your purpose. I'll keep it 100 with you on that part. Like you tripping, you talking about something you hate Angel Reese. Like that's a crazy statement. Your words have power, man.
All I'm saying is you could take any player from any other culture, right? And say, give me their top 10 haters. And it's not going to be 10 people, 15, 20 people that look like them. That's never going to happen. We the only culture that do that. We the only culture that do that.
Well, I think that's because of the war that's going on.
Here's my thing.
Between our people.
Listen. I'm not a fan of the coons. I'm not a fan of the races. And I don't like the crabs in the barrels either. See what I'm saying? We got to change that. You don't have to be against her. You don't got to ride with her, but you don't have to go above. Because see, that algorithm tells people what to say. The algorithm tells people what to do. Oh, yeah. You got dudes like Eric Spears. You got every last one of them podcasts. Every last one of them podcasts you see, Joe Budden, Shannon Sharp, they all against her.
You think Shannon against Angel?
Yes. Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, you against Angel Reese?
Yeah, he gonna say he not, but they are.
Didn't he bring on the show?
Shady McCoy.
He ain't have on the show.
No,
Shannon Sharp ain't had. Well, did he have Caitlyn?
no.
All right, well, that's even fair square ground right there.
Shady McCoy, James Jones, you name it. The list goes on. But listen.
Shady McCoy, you know, he
Again, I'm
crazy
not.
work.
Listen. I'm not telling people. I'm not telling people to ride with nobody. You don't got to ride with them, but you ain't got to be against them. That's my point. You could just see. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the sport. The sport come first.
I think for people like a Shady McCoy, who's an athlete who's put in work, can actually argue why. And the reason why I say this is because of how I seen play styles. Last year, Angel Reese's play style wasn't always where you would want to see a pro athlete's play style.
I disagree.
Now, I'm not. Why do you disagree?
Because I take away the hype and all the extra.
I'm not looking at the hype.
Let's take away the hype.
I never look at the hype.
They both in their second year.
No, we're not talking about by years. We talking about fundamentals. Like certain things that she was doing, she did look like she was a little like wasn't fully developed in certain moves.
Wasn't fully developed.
Certain moves.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question. In the WNBA, I'm not talking about the NBA. In the WNBA, what's the most dominant position in the league?
Well, for me, you asking the wrong question. I don't know.
The 4.
Okay.
The 4 or the 5.
All right.
Right. Let me name the people that she's going to see on the regular. Defisa Collier.
Okay.
Aja Wilson.
Okay.
Breonna Stewart.
Okay.
Alyssa Thomas.
Okay.
I can stop there. Them three killers right there. Mm-hmm. Nneka Ogwumike.
Yeah.
You going against the creme of the creme.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So she already coming out the gate. You going against the best of the best.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying all these other positions are not good, but that position she plays is the most dominant position in the league.
Okay. So with that, again, what does that have to do with certain things that we have seen as far as there are certain moves? It's just like when who's a big man that we could say that was in the league? I know you can't really compare the two, but there are certain women in the league that make moves the way that you see them move on the court. This is not me taking away from Angel Reese making it to the WNBA.
Okay.
But it's just like certain things with Bronny. Fundamentals. There are things you see on the court where it's just okay, they need to work on that. Whether they're getting over, I mean, the numbers are the numbers. It's just there was another they said with the question, who was more appealing or more exciting to watch?
Caitlyn. Right? Caitlyn.
Do you know why?
Because she's shooting logo threes.
But just seeing
and her passing ability.
So you seen her play in person?
Not in person. It's coming though.
Exactly. That is the thing. Seeing her on TV versus seeing her in person, you can I see why the argument is what the argument is. So when I seen Caitlyn play, I think twice last season, from seeing her release to just seeing how she just moved on the court, it was like, oh. And when I saw Angel, it was just like, okay, I see what the argument is. I don't care to be in the mix of the argument, but I can say from what I have seen from last year, not talking about this year, because Angel worked this year. So some of her, when I see her in person, I will know, okay, she really been balling. I'm not going off of what I see on TV. All right, because you can see things totally different when you're in there.
My debate was never who was better. I don't care who's better.
I get, but we brought it up because somebody was on the Joe Button and they brought up the whole thing of Raw, and then it went from there. We kept going further. So I just
I don't care who's better.
Yeah,
I'm just saying you don't have to be against either one of them. You can appreciate both for what they do. And you could, I mean, listen, if you're a fan of the sport, just like boxing. I watch different fighters for different reasons. Mm-hmm. I watch different players for different reasons. Yeah. See, just like in football, I love the game. I can love a high scoring game, but I can love a defensive struggle. Same thing with boxing. I can sit back and watch a technical fight where the fighters they're just doing all the moves. I'm a fan of the game.
Yeah, that's just like with me when it comes to acting. There are some things that I know certain people wouldn't watch because they wouldn't find the actors to be uh appealing with the character. They're not able to relate with the character as much. But I study those folks because those are the individuals that help me become a better actor. How so? Because there are moments where you go, oh, okay, I see where you went wrong right there. Now I'm gonna jot that down and make sure I practice and don't fall in the same hole that you fell in. So again, it's all lessons. That's all it is. They're lessons, people. They're lessons. All right. You don't take it to heart because if you do, you're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Let's wrap up this WBA thing. So while we talking about Angel Reese, she's been on a historic run in her last 4 games. She's the first WNBA player in history to record over 15 points and 15 rebounds in 4 consecutive games, which is a WNBA record. Like yesterday, she had 24, 16, and 17 assists. Of her last 7 games, she's had 1 triple-double and 6 double-doubles. And like I said, and these ain't no regular double doubles. Like she putting up. Let me just give you a little bit of little game log here. 24 and 16, 17 points and 18 rebounds, 18 points and 17 rebounds, 10 points and 19 rebounds, 17 points and 11 rebounds. Like she been doing the thing.
I bet you somebody gonna say, what that mean?
She doing it. Like right now, she playing big ball right now. And I mean, listen, and speaking of Caitlin, she's her last 3 games, she's 1 of 23 from 3. Now this ain't, listen, I'm not one of them that's okay, let's bash her, let's talk about it. All we saying is this: they both in their 2nd year, restarted cold and got hot. Caitlin started hot, now she cold. Let's see how it play out. We got almost 30 more games to play.
Might say what really matters is after the All-Star break.
Right. We got a whole smorgasbord, but Indiana still managed to be in the Commissioner's Cup. They play the Commissioner's Cup champion against Fee Collier in Minnesota on Tuesday. Tomorrow at 8:00, tune in to see that. If Caitlin returns for that game. Or if not, we'll see how it play out. And on that ball, on a team, because see, through all this, what gets overshadowed is this: 2 of her teammates are balling. Aaliyah Boston is balling. Aaliyah Boston is putting in that work, and so is Kelsey Mitchell. But that gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is you can be a fan of this person, you can boost her up and all that, but watch the game. Watch the game.
Watch the game.
Because yesterday, Fee went off yesterday. Asia had a monster game against Phoenix, was tied for the best record in the league. The Atlanta Dream smashed the New York Liberty, the champions. Angel went off in the Candace Parker retirement game. It's some good stories. But I guarantee you didn't see none of that on the Herd. You didn't see none of that on ESPN First Take. You didn't see none of that.
What's the Herd?
Colin Herd.
Oh, that guy.
And and Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is balling. Paige Becker had a monster game in the losing effort against the Fever the other night. You know what I mean? But Paige Beckers has been, I hate to say it, man, it's gonna be as good as Sonia Cintron and Kiki Ferryman has been this year. I still think it's going to be a hard task for them to get that Rookie of the Year from Paige. You know what I mean? Now, truthfully, I'm going to be honest. They should get it over Paige because the amount of games she's missed and how they just been consistent the whole year. Because Sonia Cintron and Kiki has been consistent. You know what I mean? They've been consistent and they've been solid. So I just think that Sonia Cintron and Kiki, they should be the front runners for Rookie of the Year. But I think when it's all said and done, especially if Paige keep doing what she's doing, it's gonna go to Paige.
You never know. Ball out. I ain't gonna even ball out.
The Mystics was able to knock off the Minnesota Lynx last week, and they in an amazing game. And they topped that and went to Las Vegas and beat the Las Vegas Aces. Got they lick back, but
called the game too. I don't know if anybody knew that, but one of my folks that I distribute some of my packages, my media packages to, hit me up and was like, "You called the game," and I was like, "I know. I just know when it's about to go down. You know what I'm saying? I know when the Dubs are on the way and when we deserve to win, and we deserve to win that game. Now, We did have an L though after that.
They on the back to back. They went to Dallas and they laid an egg.
I went back to back.
It was a back to back.
Ma,
It was a back to back.
what you call it was a Thursday game.
What was?
The Aces was a Thursday game, and then the Wings was Saturday.
Okay, all right. Well,
I had time with my media package.
all right. So yeah, they went out there and they I don't know what they just looked flat in Dallas. They just looked like they yeah they looked like they didn't make it off the plane.
Yeah,
You know they
Vegas to Texas.
yeah they look flat, but we'll give them a pass for that. But like I said, they're a good young strong team, and they are a force to be reckoned with. And we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I do believe the Misses will be a playoff team, and we'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? Now, one last boxing news when we get back into it. We do have an interview set up soon with Mr. Gary Russell Jr., but the cat was out the bag. I wanted us to announce it here, but the cat is out the bag. He will be returning back to the ring. I will give you more details on that. You know me, but Gary, the return of Gary Russell Jr. will be this month, and next month in July, and it's coming soon. And over the weekend, his sons debuted their amateur career. Okay. You know, and they also had a moment where Gary Antoine was in the ring with no other than Sugar Ray Leonard.
That's fine.
So, the DMV doing big things out here, man. DMV doing big things, man. And like I said, we will be in the building for the next Mystics home game, which is against Chicago Sky Angel Reese. What else we got, man?
You said we're going to be in the building. Chicago Sky. What else? Man, it's been a day, folks. I say that much. I'm over here trying to think. I'm having a brain fart right now.
So this is what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna go ahead and let him get, relax his mind. He gave us so many good sound bites today and tips. So we're gonna go and get up out of here, y'all, man. This is Brandon Stenard, and tell him where you can follow him.
Yes, indeed. Brandon Stenard everywhere. Brandon.Stenard on Instagram. Brandon_Stenard, I believe, is on Twitter. On YouTube, it should be Brandon. Let me pull it up and make sure, because I'm really having a brain fart right now. It's just Brandon Stenard on YouTube. You can catch me on the Red Grant in the Morning Show every Monday morning at 10 a.m. bringing the news of the day, whether that is the daily talk news or it could just be some random news. You just never know what we might talk about. And then also, that's all I'm gonna give you for now. My man, back to the good brother. Let them know how they can find you.
And this is AK That's Box, and you can follow if you have not done so. Please like and subscribe to both Brandon Stenard's page and also the Let's Talk Sports, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, and everything is under AK the Apostle or Let's Talk Sports, y'all, man. It's been real, man. And like I said, about to go hit these streets, man, and come up with some more good content for y'all, man. Y'all be blessed.
Before we do get off, I do want to just say that earlier I made mention that all these ladies was helping at this baby shower. My wife was working. Yeah, baby, I had to shout you out. The devil is alive. I'm going to leave you blanketed out there. You're part of a category you're not a part of. Shout out to all the ladies that do things for their husband and beyond, and family and all that jazz beyond, all that stuff. Yeah. You feel me? Good night, everybody. We're out. Yeah.
And we are.